Hello, April. Welcome. Give us a hello in the comment box. Tell us where you're watching from. We're already starting to remember some of your guys' names, faces, your pictures. Hi, Siri. Good to see you. Hello, Katie. April from Michigan. That's right, from Michigan. Sharon from Las Vegas. Awesome. Please give us a like, a heart, and if you're part of any notary groups, we're going to have a really good presentation today. So go ahead and feel free to share the link with friends, send a message. The more the merrier. Jamario, good to see you again, sir. What up, Jamario?
You. Hang on, I just got to knock on the door. I think it's Will.
Will's here. Oh, yeah, and we got William Chrisman as well from San Jose. Awesome. Great market, very high prices out there. I know every time Jonathan gets a client, for who needs a signing, and we go to look for notaries in that area, we definitely always pay more because prices are going up. Prices are going up. Lori, good to see you again. Catherine, good to see you again. Jason, good to see you. I remember Jason. We've definitely, we've talked a couple times, so I remember you now, Jason. But yeah, go ahead and please give us a like, give us a heart, and please share the link. There's always a few stragglers who hop on a little later.
What's up, Rufio?
What's up, Big Willie?
Big Willie style.
It's every meeting, it's Big Willie. Every meeting.
That's his name now, dude.
Presenting Jonathan.
Or The Rock.
Yuki. And Big Willie.
Good to see you guys again. Looks like we got a little smaller group. Michelle, good to see you. Spoke with you earlier. New guest. So Michelle, just to explain, or anybody else who's out there, who's this is their first stream that they're attending. Jonathan here is the CEO of Notary Pin, a signing service where national signing service, but in the beginning with a focus on California. Sure. And he gives out a lot of work to a lot of different notaries, and he's doing this weekly stream that adds a lot of value to the notaries of Notary Pin. In fact, a lot of the notaries who get invited are preferred notaries, and this is our chance to kind of get to know everybody's name. So that way, when a job comes up in your area, you're a preferred notary and you get first dibs. Hey, Sarah, good to see you. Awesome. Fantastic. Jonathan, you just want to text the girls to share the link in the group as well.
So they're not going to be available. So which link are you sharing?
Well, just to the Facebook group.
Oh, yes.
Just remind everybody. Yeah. We'll get started here in like 2 minutes. So I'm excited. Today I'm leading the presentation. So got a little haircut. Yeah. Oh, Jamario, how long does the Google verification process take? I'm still waiting. How long ago did you, was it the video? Did you upload the video? How long ago was that? At least 10 days. Oh, wow. So either they're backed up because this is like a new thing that they all started doing with the video verification. So either they're backed up or, and does it just say pending? They haven't given you some kind of a ruling as far as maybe your video wasn't sufficient? By the way, Michelle and anyone else out there who's not part of the group yet, feel free to join this Facebook group. This is where we have our main hub of communication around, these free tips as far as marketing for notaries and growing your general notary business. So Jamario, what I would do then is I would reach out to them with, go back into that part of the Google Business Profile, and then when you go to verify, you can click other methods, and then you can select basically to contact them, and then you can fill out a little form with your information, and I would request if you can verify via postcard, like the old school way, and see if they allow you to do that. All righty. Jonathan, do you want to do the housekeeping before we get into the presentation?
What's the housekeeping? Like distracted.
With the challenge, talking about the update, the status quo.
Yes. Okay, so obviously you guys know we're doing this Google review challenge. We only have a few people that have entered. I think a few more have entered since I made that post. So we want you guys to, just send us a text with your name, and I'll post the number here. So send us a text here. That way we know that you're interested in joining the challenge. Let me put this without this ticker thing.
It's free money.
Free money.
So again, the details of the challenge is just whoever has the most reviews over these next 4 weeks. The challenge will end on September 14th. And how we're getting your guys' count is you're going to text us a screenshot of your Google business page so we know what your starting number is. We're currently recording like the number of reviews that you have starting out. And then that way it's fair. By the end of the challenge, it'll be, it's not whoever has the most on their profile, it's just whoever collected the most during this time, right? I know that some of you guys are having issues with verification. It's okay, we're here to help you through it. We do plan on doing the challenge again, as long as we get enough participants for this round and we can, have more interest again for the next one, we'll do it again. And so we do need 20 participants. Right now we have, let me do a quick look. I think I saw at least 5. Let me see. So if you have notary friends who would be interested in joining the challenge, again, it's completely free. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 people who have submitted their review count. I have Raymond Alto, Catherine Goodmanson, Christine Roche, Sarah Theonis.
She was one of my witnesses one time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yep.
And then I've got Siri, I've got you in here, but I think I need a screenshot of your starting count. And then I know Evelyn is just having some issues with her Google business profile. So hopefully we can get those worked out by the next challenge. I just saw a text come in. Hopefully that's, if you can text us your name again, and that'll get you entered.
How are you going to miss mine?
Figure it out. You don't count.
Yes, I do. I do.
Will is also in the challenge.
Yes.
He's going to compete with you guys, but he's not going to take any of the prize money. So it'll be for you guys to compete against him and see if you can beat him, because he's a master.
I already got one.
He's a master Google review.
Doesn't count. I'm going to invite. I have a notary client who does Google Ads with me in San Antonio, who's really good at collecting reviews. So I'm going to invite him too. So we're going to get some competitors.
Is that the one that was really good?
Yeah. You saw. I sent you his profile. Yeah. Jason, what was that? You're going to beat him too? All right, we'll see. Yeah. Jason, do character reviews count? It's very interesting you asked that. I'm at part of the presentation today. I'm going to talk about getting reviews from previous people you've worked with. So yeah, they would count. All right. So basically, Jonathan, you told them we're delaying it another week until we get those 20, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So we're almost there. We don't have the 20 yet. We need at least 20 people to make it fun and interesting. So if you have a friend who Yeah, why not? Hey, buddy, you want a chance to win $500? Do your friend a cool favor and get them to be a part of this challenge. Send them an invite, and they'll probably give you a thank you. Yeah. Jonathan, you want to jump into it? You want to jump into the presentation?
All right, let's get at it.
All right. So looks like we got a smaller group than last week, which is their loss because today you guys have some Yuki time. We're going to, I'm going to give you guys a really great presentation on, hold on.
I got you.
You got me? All right.
Well, I sort of got you. There you go.
There we go. Doing Google business profiles the right way. How to become a top ranked profile with hundreds of reviews. So I'll give you an example. I have I really should have told him to come on to this meeting, but I have a client he's not in San Antonio, he's in Dallas. His name's Daniel. You can look him up. It's called Peak Signing is the name of his business in Dallas. And when we started working together 4 months ago, he had 0 reviews. He didn't even have a business profile yet. 4 months later, he's almost at like 200 reviews. It's like, what? You can get to 200 reviews in just a couple months. So we're going to talk about how to do that. And you might not even need 200 reviews to become one of the top ranked business profiles in your area if you live in a place that's a little bit more rural. So we're going to get into all of that today. And the idea is once you have a robust profile, it's free money. Google's going to be sending you leads. You're going to be getting phone calls every single day. So yeah, let's get into it. So I really want to stress that just signing up for a Google business profile is not enough, right? A lot of times when I tell people to work on their Google business page, as far as my clients, right? Because I have clients who they do Google ads with me and I say, hey, you need to work on your Google business page. You're going on all these appointments from the Google ads. You got to start collecting reviews every single time. Because when I tell them they got to work on their page, a common response is, I already have that. I already have a Google business page. But a Google business page isn't something that you just have. It's something that you work on, that you build. And the good news is that most people are in the first mindset. So most people are just thinking, oh, okay, I already made my Google business page, already took care of it, already handled it, and they're not actively working on it. As far as the people who are actively working on it, I'd say it's maybe 10% or 20% of pages out there. So you can easily surpass the local competition because they're not working actively on it. So let's talk about the anatomy of a Google search. So this is a sample search, right? Mobile Notary, San Francisco. And this is what a standard Google search looks like, right? Your first result is always an advertisement, right? Why? Because that's how Google makes money, is with their advertisers. So of course they're going to save the first 1 to 3 spots for the advertisers. In this search, it's just one advertiser that's showing, but sometimes it's like 3 advertisers or 4, just depends. From there, you're going to get the Google business results, right? You're going to get the sliver of the map, as you see here, and it's going to show what's commonly referred to as a 3-pack. I just recently learned that term. I just always called it the top 3, but it's going to show the top 3 profiles related to that search. And this is for any kind of a local search, right? If you look up, barbershop or car repair, it's going to be similar, right? You got the ads on top, then you got the map with the top 3, and then you have the organic results after that, right? So if you're doing SEO, you're like, oh, I did all this SEO. Even if you do SEO, you're still showing up under the ad and under the Google business results, which is why the Google business is the highest leverage free thing that you can do, right? So let's go through a couple search examples here. I want you guys to write down 3 different searches that we're going to try out, because depending on the search, the Google business results are going to look a little different. The most commonly searched term by far is notary near me. even if I look at the Google Ads numbers, you know, it's because within Google Ads I can see like what's the #1 search thing and the #2 search thing. Notary near me is by far the #1 most searched keyword. Usually, right, you get an advantage if you are closer to that person. You'll show up a little higher up. But here we go. In this case, this is a search that Jonathan did, and he took a screenshot. So we have Notary Pin at the top, right, because they do a lot of good things with their profile. Then we have $11 Notary, and then we have the UPS store. On the next slide, we have a search for Notary San Diego, right? So we have, once again, Notary Pin is showing up on top. Then we got $11 Notary. Uh-oh, we're going ahead here. Jonathan, don't worry, I'll handle the
That's my bad.
slide
I think you actually skipped one.
Oh, really? Okay. Mobile Notary is another search term, right? So it's going to depend a little bit depending on exactly what they search. So we got Notary San Diego. Now, if you look here, right, it always shows the top 3 in the first search, but after that, if you're not showing up in the top 3, they don't actually see you unless they click on more businesses, right? You guys can open up a different tab or on your phone. If you're watching this on a computer, on your phone, just search up Notary near me. You're going to see this exact same thing, right? It only shows the top 3, and then they have to click on more businesses in order to unlock this screen, where then it shows you 20 at a time, right? So really, unless you're showing up in the top 3, you're not really even showing up on the first search. They have to open up this menu. And if you look down here, right, showing results 21 through 40 of 234. So in the San Diego area for this search, there's 234 Google business profiles. I mean, you know, if you're showing up on result number 100, people are just never going to reach you. They're not going to go through 20 and then 21 through 40 and then 41 through 60. And, you know, so you really want to be showing up in the first 20, and really you want to be showing up in the top 3 to 5, right? So how many reviews do you need to be competitive? These are just numbers that I typically have seen just working with a lot of notaries in a bunch of different cities. As far as the big cities, usually the range is 150 to 300 reviews. In the medium-sized cities, right? So big cities would be LA, Houston, you know, San Diego, New York, right? Medium-sized cities, right now we're talking Denver, New Orleans, you know, 50 to 100 is probably going to get you there. Small cities, now we're talking more rural cities, right? Maybe even 15 to 30. And so, I mean, for the people who are in the smaller cities, like you could have the top business profile in a couple weeks. So the best way to do this is to do the searches yourself. So we're going to do an exercise, competition analysis. I want all of you guys to do these 3 searches. Open up a new tab or open up your phone and search for these 3 words: Notary near me, mobile notary, and then Notary plus the big city near you. So let's say you live in Santa Monica, right? The big city near you would be Los Angeles. So you type in Notary Los Angeles. Or if you live in La Jolla, right? Then you put Notary San Diego would be the big city near you. Do that, and then in the comments, I want all of you guys to write more or less what your competition looks like. Who are, like, more or less, do people have like 150 or so reviews? Do people only have 50 or so reviews? I'm just gonna give you guys 2 minutes to do these searches, and then just give me a range of what are the top 3 competitors in your area? How many reviews do they have? Just give you guys 2 minutes here.
Yeah, I did, Yuki. I wanted to mention. I love that breakdown of your different city sizes. I think I was reviewing someone's profile. Was it Jamie, I think? Or no, I can't remember who it was, but I was reviewing someone's profile in Michigan. And I think she had about 30 or 40 reviews. And she was number one in like a, you know, intermediate area, and then number two, and you go further out. And then in the main city, she was number 3. So just on like 40 reviews, she was already in the top 3 in the main city. So yeah, definitely depending on your area, you could easily be in the top really soon. Obviously, if you're in a denser market, it is more competitive, but that means that there's also a lot more leads in the bigger markets. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Let's get to Katie, notary near me. I'm number 4. Number 1 was Postal Annex. Okay, Postal Annex is a chain, just like UPS store. Number 2 and 3 have 10 and 4 reviews. Oh, wow. It's very low competition. Katie, where are you located?
You got this, Katie. You got this.
Yeah. Also, go ahead and write where you're searching from. You know, what more or less what city you're in. Thousand Oaks. Okay, really? So, okay, wow. So I guess, okay, William Chrisman, 162. Okay, you're probably in a bigger city. Wow. So, Katie, I want you to do a search for Notary Los Angeles, since Los Angeles would technically be the big city closest to Thousand Oaks, and then take a look at your competition with that as well. San Jose, okay. Mobile Notary, I'm first. Wonderful, Jason. Very nice. So, Jason, I know you're in Las Vegas. Go ahead and write Notary Las Vegas and take a look at who your competition is for the big city. You're always going to have an easier time showing up higher up for Notary near me, obviously. But the eventual goal is to also show up for Notary plus your big city. Okay, William, Notary San Jose was the search. Okay, that's why 162. That makes sense. Just give it 30 more seconds, and you guys can, let's get a couple more comments in there. Jason Daniels, Notary plus Las Vegas. I am 5th. Okay, there you go. So now you have something to shoot for, right? So I'm going to guess Las Vegas, probably you're competing with people who have 100, 150 reviews. Sarah,
Jason.
Yeah, go for it, Jonathan. What are you going to say?
I was just going to say, Jason, that's good. You being in a major city. But again, of course, that's also based on your search location, right? So you're searching right on top of your business address. So of course you're gonna be higher up. But let's say I'm in California, I'm looking for a notary in Las Vegas. We want you to show up for someone who's searching like outside of the city, right?
Yeah. And we got Sarah. Top 3 have anywhere from 77 to 105. Some searches are lower, but reviews are high. Okay. And Jason, I am shooting for first on every search. Good. That's the mindset. That's awesome. All right, so let's move on to the next slide. You guys keep doing that. This is oh wow, Jesus. Sharon says in Las Vegas, I see as many as 541 reviews. So sometimes you're going to have an anomaly. You're going to have some kind of superstar who has 200 more reviews than second place. So there's just somebody in Las Vegas who they make it their mission to collect the review every single time, and they're really attacking it hard. Okay, so let's get to the next slide here. Why is it important to be in the top 3 to 10 spots? Isn't it enough to be number 45? This is a question I get. Hey, out of the 200 profiles in San Diego and LA, I'm showing up at number 45. Technically, am I in the top 25% percentile, right? Sure, technically you are. But people always choose from the first page of any service, right? Think of the last time you hired someone. You needed a roof repair, air conditioning replacement, dog groomer, whatever it was. You're always choosing from the first page, if not the first 3 to 5 results, right? Let's be real. So I would argue that the number 30 spot gets just as many leads as the number 200 spot. So until you can break into the first page, remember how we expanded and we did more businesses, and then it goes 1 through 20 and then 21 through 40. Jonathan, I think I disappeared. I'm going to just put myself back up here. And so you want to at least show up in the 1 through 20, because just think about, put yourself in the shoes of the caller, right? They're starting at number 1. They're calling the first person. Maybe the first person doesn't pick up. They're in the bathroom, right? Immediately, they call the second person, right? Maybe the second person doesn't have that time slot open and they're not ready to go, right? They call the third person. By the time they call 3 or 4 or 5 people, they found someone, right? And if they do reach you at the number 20 spot, it's because they're price hunting, right? Okay, they got to your profile on the number 20 spot, but you're the 7th person they've called. And that's the type of customer who tells you, oh, well, somebody else quoted me for 35, and you're too high. And then you get those types of callers, right? So once you do break into the top 3, the difference is night and day. Because once you break into the top 3, you actually show in the first Google search, right? So your goal is to show into the top 3. Obviously, with the Notary Near Me, that competition, it's easier to break into the top 3. That's your first goal, is to break into the top 3 of the Notary Near Me search. And then your second goal is to break into the top 3 of the big city search, right? Las Vegas Notary for you, Jason, or or whatever it is, whatever the big city is. Now, reviews aren't the only factor, but they matter heavily, right? If we look at if you guys remember the first webinar we did, what was it, Jonathan, like 3 weeks ago or something, 4 weeks ago? This is the list of factors ranked that will influence your Google business ranking. My dog, hold on. My dog wants to sit on my lap. Just give me a second here. Now,
How many reviews did your dog collect?
She'll collect quite a few, dude. She's very cute.
Is it a top 3 ranked dog in your area? Okay.
So the first category, everybody, even you just have to make sure you designate your profile as a notary category, right? So everybody's doing that, right? There's no competition there, right? The second one, keywords in your Google business title. We already told you guys last week, in your Google business title, you want to have the word mobile notary in there, right? Just add, even if it's not in your legal name or your DBA, just add it into your Google business listing, because that's the second most important thing. But that's what the competition is doing as well. So you're not really competing there. Proximity of address to point of search, physical address, city search.
Sorry, Yuki, one thing to mention too. So obviously, if you've already created your Google business page and it's up and running, don't make the change. I would suggest not, just because Google has been cracking down on keywords in their business names and stuff like that. If you haven't created your Google business profile, I would create one with mobile notary in it. So let's say your business, your LLC name is like, 123 Signings LLC. When you set up your business profile, set it up to be 123 Mobile Notary, or your name Mobile Notary, because that's just what's going to showcase online. But you'll still run your business under your LLC. It's not going to make a difference. I do suggest creating a website that matches that business name too. So if your business name on Google is 123 Mobile Notary, your website should also be 123mobilenotary.com. Because then that tells Google, okay, this is their business name. They own this domain. This is legitimate. They're not just keyword stuffing into their profile name.
Yeah. Quick comment here. Katie says, I don't even show up on Notary Los Angeles. I don't advertise for LA County. I went up to 50 and stopped counting. So yeah, but just know that if you one day have a profile with 200 reviews, you could easily start showing up closer to LA. Which, I mean, Thousand Oaks is a really nice area, so maybe you don't even want to go out there, but still, why not? It's good to show up, everywhere you can. And Jason says, from what I have seen, Google frowns on using keywords in the title unless it's prevalent across your business, which is why if you haven't named your business yet, I always recommend having the word mobile notary in there, but or just branding it online, just your website, everywhere. Just use that version of your name. But the point of this graphic here, if you guys look, 3 of these categories are related to Google reviews. So on the first 5 categories, you can't even even though they're the most important, everybody's doing it the same. So you're not competing there. The competition begins at number 6, high numerical Google ratings. And then everybody's filling out their Google business. So 7's not even, everyone's doing the same thing. And then if you look at 9, keywords in the native Google reviews, and then number 12, quantity of native Google reviews. So if you add those up, because those are all related to reviews, they just kind of divvied it into 3 more specific factors so that you can be more educated. But if we add them up, 183 plus 205 is what? 388, right? Plus 267 from the number 6 spot, right? So we're looking at like 700 something, 750 composite score between these 3 categories put together. And that's even, so basically reviews are the number one thing that you control that you can compete on. So we're going to give you a few review collection strategies today, right? These are strategies that I recommend to all the notaries that I work with. Native would be like they're leaving it on your Google business page and they're not leaving it on some kind of a third-party service. Because some people collect reviews on the third-party service. So here we go. Your first review collection strategy. What if I told you guys that you can get 20 reviews or 50 reviews in a week, right? Your first review collection strategy is going to be to contact your previous customers, right? So you can immediately get a bunch of reviews from previous customers. So for those of you who are serious about growing your Google business page, this is your homework assignment, right? And once again, we gain nothing from this, right? This doesn't help us at all, right? This is all for you. You want to compile a list of customers that you've worked with as far back as you can go, right? The only excuse for not doing this is if you literally started 2 weeks ago and you've only gone on 1 appointment, right? There's a common cop-out that I usually hear when I recommend this, and that's that, I did 10 appointments last week, but there was one that was really memorable with Mrs. Johnson, and so I'll just ask her for the review. No, I'm saying you contact every single, unless the notarization went bad and you messed up the document or something. As long as you did your job, call them, right? And if you say even the ones from last year, this is up to you, right? I'm a little hard ass about this. So I tell everybody, you could twiddle your thumbs and hope these appointments fall from the sky into your lap, or you can overcome your fear of getting on the phone and start collecting reviews. The thing about the notary business, you guys, is it's a very standard service that you're offering. You could say it's commoditized, right? It's not like a restaurant where like, oh my gosh, this person makes the most amazing ribs that they put in the smoker for 12 hours or I guess ribs are more like 4 or 5 hours. But I like to, I do my smoked meats on the weekends, but and then you actually have a delicious food that will win more customers over, right? And it grows, and the word of mouth grows the business like wildfire. But as far as a notarization, you guys are pretty much offering the same service. Obviously, a brand new notary might make mistakes, and it makes the process longer. But as long as you're an average notary or better, you guys are pretty much offering the same service. So you have to put all your time and effort into competing on things like collecting reviews. So here's the calling script that I would recommend. Let's see, William. Sorry for something negative, but it's a catch-22. No signings / notary gigs equals notary reviews. Trying hard to accept signings and gigs, but there haven't been too many. Of the few, I always ask, have a QR code, follow-up reviews, Google Biz profiles, good shape, minus a website comment, so it's just frustrating. Yeah, so I totally understand that qualm there, William. It's like the I believe I told someone this earlier today, but it's like that typical scenario where someone gets out of college and they're looking for a job and they say, oh, well, you need experience. Like, how do I get experience if I don't have a job, right? And how do I get a job if I don't have experience? Well, in the beginning, the business is slow for everybody. I remember we talked to Siri last week, and Siri mentioned that the first month she only had 1 signing, right? So so if if in the beginning it's going to be slow, which is why I recommend, if you have a day job, right? If you're already in a career in some field, and notary is kind of like your dream as far as breaking out, owning your own business, having something for yourself, don't quit your day job just yet, right? You want to build it slowly. You want to be doing one appointment a day after work, maybe two on Saturdays, two on Sundays. Then once you're making 2, 3, 4K from the notary business, that's when you start to consider going full time, right? That's the best advice I can give you. Jonathan, did you have something?
Will wants to chime in.
Yeah, and Yuki and William, nice name by the way. A good way to kind of get reviews is to get friends. So attorneys, they do this all the time. They actually leave reviews for each other. So if you've done work with somebody else in another business, I would highly recommend doing a character-based review, right? To where they're saying, hey, this person is signing off on the fact that you do good quality work, or that you are a go-getter as a person, or that you're on time, that you're professional.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to necessarily be notary related. And I wouldn't have them lie and say that you did a notary for them or notarization. I would just have them attest to your character and say, hey, listen, I've worked with this person for 5 or 6 years. He helped me out of this situation where I needed a banker or some funding, whatever, right? But you can ask people. It doesn't have to be previous customers. It doesn't have to be clients or anything like that. Just make sure that they're not lying, in that they're more or less attesting to who you are as a person or as a professional.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, and then that's a great point, Will. And don't get frustrated if you don't have a lot of business coming in. Now, I have Sarah here who says, yes, I have pretty good review collect. I just need more appointments. So, me being the Google Ads guy, my first response to Sarah, if you want calls immediately and you are willing to run ads, right? Paid ads, right? Even if it's not that, even if you're just running $5 a day worth of ads or $10 a day worth of ads, you don't have to spend $1,000 worth of ads to see results. You just spend 10, 20, 30 bucks and you start getting appointments. That would be the immediate way, Sarah, to get appointments coming in right away. Otherwise, you just have to be patient and just let the little snowball build and build and build. And then 3, 4 months in, that's when things start to take off. So here's a sample calling script for calling previous clients. Okay. So, and the other thing I wanted to say is, I would say that, a lot of people, they have this idea of like, right, usually notaries want to get to 10K, right? 10K a month. That's kind of the standard goal that everybody has. But I would say the road from 0 to 3K is harder than the road from 3K to 10K. That first piece of the journey is the hardest part, just because the snowball is so small and doesn't get into action just yet. Jason says, Yuki, how can someone get in touch with you? You can email me. Jonathan put my email here, yuki@notarypublicmarketing.com, or you can visit my website, which is different than my email. It's notarypublicdigitalmarketing.com. I have a great webinar on there that goes into Google Ads, and then you can book a Calendly appointment with me. But we already know each other, Jason. We've already chatted on the office hours last week and stuff. So just email me. I'll even, yeah, there we go. Here's my website. Just email me, and we can set up a call. I'll just give you a call on the phone. Just put your phone number in the email. But here we go. Here's a calling script for reviews from previous clients. This is just to get you guys a feeling of what the call should sound like. You don't have to memorize this word for word. More or less, it's just express appreciation and be earnest in the fact that, hey, I'm trying to build my Google business profile, and then just give them a little incentive and then walk them through it. So here's how it goes. All right. Hi, Mrs. Johnson. Hey, it's me, Siri, the notary. Siri, I'm using your name in this example here, right? Because maybe this is a person from 5 months ago. Maybe they don't remember you. So you want to give them the context. I came over to your house a couple of months ago to notarize that power of attorney for you guys, and just wait for them to remember, right? Just the greeting, right? So start with the greeting and the reminder of who you are. Right? They go, oh yeah, the power of attorney at the Los Angeles County Hospital, whatever. See, I hate to bother you, but real quick, I wanted to ask you a favor. I recently opened up a Google My Business profile so that I can collect reviews and grow my business. I would really appreciate it, right? Just come from the heart. I would really appreciate it if you can help me out and leave me a review. It would mean so much to me, and it only takes a minute. Would you be able to do that for me? Right. So ask permission. Right. Would you be able to do that for me? Yes or no? Most people are going to say yes, right? Unless you did a really terrible job, right? So they're going to say yes, right? Say, great. Thank you so much. I'll also give you a $30 discount. This is up to you. It could be a $30 discount, $20 discount, whatever you want. Next time you need a notary as a thank you. So anyways, it's super simple to do, only takes a minute. Can I walk you through it real fast? And you always want to walk them through it, because if they just say yes and you say, I'll send you a text in 5 minutes with my link, 9 out of 10 times people forget, right? Their baby starts crying or they're late for something and then they forget. So you want to walk them through it, right? So you say, okay, great. Open up Google on your phone. Now type in business, right? You're going to type in the name as it appears on your Google business listing, right? Siri laughs. But so let's say your notary, let's say your business is called OC Notary Express, right? That's one of my clients in Orange County, California. It might show, it might not. So you have to do a tester. If your profile is brand new, there's a good chance it's not going to show up if with just the name of the business. So I would recommend your business name plus city name. I'll get more into that later. You're going to say, did my Google business listing pop up? Great. Click on the reviews tab. Now you should see 5 blank stars. Click on however many stars you want to give me. Okay, that'll take you to a comment box. If you guys aren't familiar with what the screens look like as you're leaving a review, go try leaving a review for some business, whatever business, right, that you worked with recently, and go to their Google business profile and then click on write a review. The first thing that pops up is 5 blank stars, right? So you're saying click on the number of stars, boom, and then it takes them to a comment box. You're just literally verbally walking them through it, right? Now in that comment box, can you kind of like, a lot of you guys have been called by Leah and Angela on staff about how to do Gigster and the invoicing, and they walk you through it, right? Piece by piece. That's what you're doing. So you say, now in that comment box, you can write what you need a notary for, how you found me, and how did it go, right? And then you wait for them to write out their review. Fantastic. Click submit, and you're all done. Thank you so much. Don't forget that I have you down for a $30 discount next time you need me. Thank you so much, Mrs. Johnson. See you next care. Take care. Jamaria has a comment here. Yugi, what if the client came from Notary Pin? Are we allowed to offer $30 off their next notary appointment? So in the case that it comes from a signing service, then Jonathan, you want to take that one? You go for it.
As I guess the company that gave you the job. So Jamaria, this feels for everybody. If you're working with a signing service, just be, you don't want to try to steal business from the signing service. So if it's a loan signing, and obviously they're not working directly with that client, if they're working with the escrow officer, you would never want to go to that escrow officer and say, hey, if you need me, whatever, because now you're encroaching on that signing services relationship, right? So similar to us, if you're doing a signing that's more general notary work, preferably, I would prefer you not to try to market yourself to them. Or like one of the attorney clients. But if it's like a loan signing or something, let's say it's not us, right? Another signing service, they're giving you a loan signing job. It totally makes sense for you to do something like this and offer that, because they didn't actually hire you, or they didn't go through the signing service to hire. They went through escrow, and escrow is the signing services client. So just try not to poach the client of the actual thing, if that helps. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I would probably not. I would probably shy away from calling previous customers from a signing service. But in the future, if you're already on site at the appointment, it's a lot easier to ask for the review very casually. Yeah.
I would feel so much more comfortable if I gave you a signing service job and you asked that customer to leave a review for your profile. I'd be like, great, I would love for you to do that. You
can ask from Notary Pen though. Is Jason Daniels. I would get together the other notary in this group. I would get together with people who are actually in this group And if you guys get together and exchange information, that would be a decent person to ask for a review from.
Yeah, that could be too.
Could be potentially. Although that may set off a red flag with Google. So maybe.
That's what I was thinking too.
What?
Because
Yeah,
if you're getting so many reviews from
yeah,
all these different locations that's not local, it
yeah,
could look like a scam, right?
yeah.
So it's better that you ask people who are in your direct network that are
Yeah.
in the same city, you know, and they know you.
As far as you guys who are like sitting there with all this free time, and let's say you don't have a day job and you went full time with it, and now you have to make this work, but no one's calling, and you're like, oh my God, what do I do? Google Business does take a little. The result is delayed. You start working on it, but until you get into the top 3, you really don't see the results. So if you have free time and you don't want to spend money on Google Ads, you want to do it the free way, start knocking on doors. You got to pound the pavement. You got to go visit all the healthcare facilities, right? And we actually, in 2 weeks, that's the theme of the webinar. In 2 weeks, we're going to talk more about that. Oh, excuse me. But more or less, if you have the free time, start networking with the people who can give you business, which are healthcare facilities, because they always work with old people, and old people are always getting their accounts in order, right? Unfortunately, when they reach that end of life stage, they end up needing power of attorneys and wills and healthcare directives. And so network with all the healthcare facilities in the area, assisted living, hospice care, and then network with attorneys, especially estate planning attorneys, if you have the free time and you really need to get the business going. Here we go. We get to the next page here. So notice what was happening on that script, right? Leaving a review via phone to avoid the I'm not at a computer. So usually people are already logged into Gmail on their phone, which makes it super easy. It's not like Yelp where they have to go make an account and then leave you a review. Everybody has Gmail. Everybody has it on their phone. Yeah, you can say, oh yeah, just do it from your phone. Put me on speaker so I can walk you through it. It's going to take 1 minute. So that's how you address that objection. Standing by and walking them through it, right? Now, some of you might say, well, I just feel more comfortable sending a link via email instead of like forcing them to leave the review while I'm on the phone with them. Once again, you're not forcing them. You're asking permission. You're saying, would you be willing to leave a review for me? And then you're walking them through it. Now, once again, I'm a hard ass as far as a coach, with my clients on this stuff, but we can give you the answer to growing your notary business and make you more money, but it's up to you to apply it, right? So for example, I have a client in Philadelphia who does Google Ads with me. His name's Lawrence. And he has been running ads with me for 3 years, right? We've been generating him maybe on average 100 calls a month for 3 years. That's over 3,000 calls, and his profile only has like 4 or 5 reviews, right? Because no matter how much I tell him, Lawrence, you're going on all these appointments, you got to start collecting the reviews, he just doesn't do it. Right? Maybe because he's older, he's a grandpa, and he just doesn't like to mess with the technology. But it's so simple to do. Just do the thing and see the results, right? So the reason for the discount, by the way, is also to get them to start using your service again if they haven't become a repeat customer yet, right? So if you're calling someone from 5 months ago and they haven't called you back, right? Obviously, they haven't become a repeat customer. You're thinking, maybe the $30 is a lot, right? You're thinking maybe that's a lot, but hey, they wouldn't have booked with you again anyways, right? So just think of it as a marketing cost. And as far as how to guide them on the comment box, this is a good way to structure it. You say, just tell me, just write what you needed a notary for or what you were looking for, how you found me, and how did it go? And that way they actually were like, I needed someone for a power of attorney. Right? I found them on Google and it was wonderful. They drove to how did it go? Right? They came to the hospital, they checked in, and now you have keywords in your review: power of attorney, hospital, after hours, right? Visiting hours. And then next time someone types into Google, power of attorney notary, Google knows that word is in one of your reviews, and that gives you a boost. So you don't ever want them to just write like a one word, just fantastic, or great guy. You want to give them some guidance as far as what to write in that comment box. Now, the final point here is on directing them to find your Google business profile. It's usually enough to just give them the business name if it's a fairly specific business name, right? So I'll give you an example here. Here's a, I have a client here, OC Notary Express, Barbara. She's out of Orange County, and another client here. She actually graduated my program. She has more than enough regulars now, where she actually didn't even need the ads anymore after about a year of working with me. Her name's Kelly, really nice lady out in Florida and Orlando. Her business was called Orlando Mobile Notaries, which is very generic. That could literally just be a search term, right? So when people were typing in Orlando, she was saying, hey, find my profile, type in Orlando Mobile Notaries. They weren't seeing her profile. They were just seeing a big list of a bunch of mobile notaries in Orlando because her name is very generic, right? Whereas with Barbara, OC Notary Express, Express is specific enough of a word where her profile would show up, right? Now, some names are borderline. I have another client in Corona, in like the Riverside County area of California, IE Notary Express, right? Inland Empire Notary Express. But when you type in IE Notary Express into, it's like I disappeared here. There we go. Thanks, Jonathan. So
I think that's the next one.
Okay. Well, as far as IE Notary Express, when people type in IE Notary Express, Google says, did you mean is Notary Express? And they think IE is supposed to be is, right? So you have to do the search yourself. Have a friend. Do this with a friend. Say, hey, friend, can you try to find my business name? If it doesn't show up, that means, all right, Jonathan, so let's get rid of me here. So that means you're going to want to do it this way, right? Business name plus city name. So Doris, my client in the Inland Empire, she has to tell people, type in IE Notary Express Corona. And then it pops up because her business, she's out of Corona. Or you can completely change the name. Well, actually, don't do that now that Google's getting strict with like name changes. But if you haven't made your Google business page yet, you can make it something more specific, like Kelly Millett Mobile Notaries, which is what that client ended up doing. And then it was just super easy to find. It would show up every single time. All right, here we go. Now we're at the second review collection method, which is the final one. We're almost done here. But basically, the second review collection method is you have to collect the review in person every single time. Let's get me back on the corner here. So asking for it after means you're going to lose out on 80 to 90% of reviews. And as far as in person, I would definitely offer a smaller discount. Don't offer a $30 discount. They already agreed to the price. You already performed the service. $5 discount will do. Right? Now, collect the review regardless of the lead source, whether they came in from your LinkedIn profile or it was a friend of a friend or someone at church. Even if it didn't come in from your Google business profile directly, collect the review for the Google business profile. That's where it has the most leverage. And remember that the review starts before the review, right? You have to give them a good experience first. You got to be pleasant on the phone. You got to show up on time. You don't forget your pen, just come prepared, give them a standard good experience, and then it's going to be a no-brainer for them to leave a review. And then once again, we do have that QR code, which is on the final page of this presentation here for easy scanning. I'm going to just rush this really quick. So this is the in-person script is pretty much the exact same as the other script, just with minor details changed. So, alrighty, Mrs. Johnson, that wraps up our appointment. How would you like to pay, card or cash? Fantastic. Now, before you pay me, I want to ask you a quick favor. I recently opened up a Google business profile so that I can collect reviews and grow my business. I would really appreciate if you can help me and leave me a review. It would mean so much to me, and it only takes a minute. Would you be able to do that for me? Ask permission. I'll give you $5 off your appointment as well. Great. Thank you so much. It's super simple to do. And now you're walking them through it. Like, you got your phone on you. All right, pull out your phone and you say, now open up Google on your phone. Now type in business name plus city name, right? IE Notary Express Corona. That's my listing, right? And you're going to see it, right? You're going to, you know how many reviews you have, you know what's the photo that pops up, right? Say, oh, there it is. Great. Click on the reviews tab. Now see those 5 blank stars. Click on however many stars you want to give me. Okay, that'll take you to a comment box. Now in that comment box, can you write what you were looking for, how you found me, and how did it go, right? And then you just wait, right? Fantastic. Click submit and you're all done. Thank you so much. Let me knock $5 off your payment today. Your new total is $80. And then you send them that invoice through Gigster, right? If they're paying by card, right? Otherwise, you just collect via cash. And then Jonathan will include a link to this.
I want to mention too. So, like we've mentioned before, blanket statement here. About 100 reviews is equal to $1,000 per month, right? And so if you think about this, you know, you might be thinking, oh, but I got to give $5 for every signing. And I know doesn't seem like too much, but if you think about it, 100 signings or 100 reviews, let's say you've given up $5 each one, that's $500. So you're trading $500 one time to get $1,000 a month recurring. So
exactly.
It's super. This is a really good investment to make. You know, just to give up that $5 on that one signing to capture that review and then use it for your business for the future.
Yeah. Ha ha, Jason. Very funny. So even if the lead source is Notary Pin, I should ask for and offer a discount. Obviously, you can't offer a discount if it's coming from a signing service.
And you have to remember too, like they've already paid us, and so it would be weird for them to be like, oh, so how do you want to pay?
Collect the review, but still collect the review. You know,
yeah, collect the review from them.
Yeah, to go to your point though, because there's going to be a lot of times where you're not collecting the review from Google Business Page work. So there are effective ways to ask for it when you're doing signing service work. I would do it near when you're filling in the notary book and putting in a thumbprint. In California, we do the thumbprint, so that's typically when I'll send the link and ask for the review.
Awesome.
Yeah. Oh, Sarah says I love my flyers. I mean, with these. So once again, these templates are in the Google.
Yeah, and here's the link to it for you. So again, like if to make it really easy for your customers, you can print this out, you can laminate it, stick it in your bag, bring it with you to every single appointment you go on. You could put it at the back of a loan signing, so by the time you get to the last page, it's there and ready to go. And it's an easy way for them to just scan with their phone and have it pulled up right then and there, right? And so this template I created for you guys is completely free. I have instructions on how to make your QR code in that Canva link. I've seen like a lot of you guys have used it, so I'm hoping you guys are enjoying that.
Fantastic. And yeah, having the QR code prevents the whole need to get the Google search right. So it is very convenient. And the third review, this is the hack, you guys. This is like, it's not top secret stuff, but this is like, I mean, it's so simple, but it's brilliant, right? So you can collect multiple reviews at once, right? There's usually more than one person in that room, right? A lot of times you get called out for a power of attorney to a hospital. The whole family's there, right? So there's usually more than one person when you get there, aside from whoever actually needs the service. Sometimes the person who needs the service isn't the one they called you, especially in the case of an elderly parent who's doing a will, power of attorney, healthcare directive. You know, a lot of times it's their adult child who themselves, who knows, maybe they're 40, 50 years old. They're calling you for their parent who's 60, 70, 80, right? And so you can technically you interacted with both the caller as well as the elderly parent. So you can get a review from both. Now be friendly and have fun with the whole family, right? Just, you know, part of it is just your presence. All right. I told Jason last week, turn up the charm, right? So be friendly, have fun with the whole family. And who knows how many will want to leave you a review. I've heard stories where, you know, and obviously you ask nicely, right? So you say, oh, you know what? It would be so cool if, you know, you, sir, the elderly parent, as well as you, ma'am, you know, his daughter who called me, can both leave me a review. I would really appreciate that. But if you had fun interacting with the whole family, obviously, I mean, it's depending on the situation, right? Sometimes it's a very serious situation. You're not going to have fun with the, you know, but as long as you're professional and kind and you know, just there in the moment of need. maybe the cousin says, hey, can I leave you a review too? Or the nephew says, hey, can I leave you a review too? A lot of times, if you ask the second person if they can also leave a review, a third or a fourth person will also offer to leave a review. And so always just come from an earnest place and give honest and sincere appreciation. That's a Dale Carnegie principle. Great book. Read it if you haven't read it, but give honest and sincere appreciation. So yeah, I had a client in the New York, in like the Queens, Bronx area. She was only with me for 2 months running Google Ads, because in those 2 months, she collected over 100 something reviews, because every single time she was getting 2 reviews or 3 reviews at a time. And then her, at some point, her Google business profile started producing enough leads where she didn't even need the ads anymore. So I would really recommend try to go for the double or the triple review when you can. Now, this slide, Google business profile building and maintenance to augment reviews. There's a couple other notes here. You want to reply to every review, right? So log into your profile. When someone leaves you a review, just reply. That helps you with Google's algorithm. They like that. You want to regularly add new photos and videos. So if you have a great experience with the client, ask them for a selfie. Say, hey, can we do a selfie? With the just kind of get some stuff in the back. Put your stamp and your pen and maybe the document. As long as it's not that sensitive, just get a page that's not that sensitive in there, and take a selfie and post it, right? The more photos and the more videos you have, the better. If the customer themselves takes the photo and attaches it to the review, from their end, Google likes that even more compared to you uploading it yourself, because they see it as more organic, right? The customer uploaded the photo. For a good example, go check out Jonathan's Google business page. Just type in Notary Pin San Diego. Look for the profile that has 300 something reviews, because Willie the man, Big Willie over here, he's a G when it comes to collecting these reviews, and he's collected a bunch of photo reviews and video reviews. You'll see those on the Notary Pin profile with the 300. There's 2 profiles. One has 100 something, one has 300 something. Check the one with the 300 plus, and you'll see a bunch of really great videos that Will has collected.
And I would say also to get those photos, they're a little bit more difficult. Some people who are actually more willing to do it than others. First-time home buyers, they're just excited. They're happy to be there, so they're more likely to do it. Getting a review with kids kind of looks good. Military people like that stuff. But I would say if you're going to go after any particular client, I would do the first-time home buyers, because they're a lot more willing to leave something. And also, it kind of just goes off of feel, because sometimes you just have like a great signing with somebody, and that person will be willing to leave your review, and that's the type of person that you feel like you're friends with that person, that I would ask for a photo from, and they'll be more likely to leave it.
Yeah, there was a notary. It was Lisa Phillips out in Philadelphia. So she does something that I love. She says, "Hey, can I get you on my Google Wall of Fame? And can we get a selfie so I can get you on my Google Wall of Fame?" And I'm like, I think that's so good. Jamario asks here, can we use photos for general notary work as well? Yeah, I mean, if what you mean is, can I ask, if I'm doing general notary work, can I ask the signer for a photo? Absolutely. Especially if you had built good rapport, you had a good experience with them, it's always good to just ask. And I do have to mention, so for the photos, when you send your review link or you're using that QR code, for some reason, Google doesn't give you an option to upload the video if they have a video or photo. Yeah, or photo. So they have to search your profile from the Google on their phone to upload it.
It doesn't give them
Good point. I didn't know that, Jonathan. That's good information.
No, when I get the link, there's no option to upload a photo. It only says the star and then the rating or the description.
Oh, okay.
They have to either go to their Google Maps or search on Safari or whatever.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to do it from Google Maps when they. I would recommend doing it from Google Maps, because they can leave a photo or a video. The videos, that's a topic for another day. Those are pretty tough to get, because they have to be in a specific format. They have to be a certain length. So if you can get one of those, you're top performer, because those are pretty difficult
Top
to.
G.
So yeah, top G, pretty hard to obtain.
Yeah, very nice. Good to see you, Don. I see Don's joining us a little late.
Evening.
So we're at the conclusion here. This is the number one habit: collecting Google reviews, especially if you can consistently collect double reviews and triple reviews with a photo. It's the number one habit to start building, to capitalize on all new business. When you do Google Ads, right? This doubles the value that you get, right? So I told you guys about my old client in Orlando, Kelly. She was very good at this. She was collecting a lot of reviews and she was collecting a lot of regulars, because maybe every 5 to 10 calls from the Google Ads, you get a call from a very special person, right? Hospice director, or estate planning attorney, or someone who runs a nursing home. And so if you're good at turning those people, you leave your business card, you have a nice chat with them after the signing, right? You don't just walk out after you've done the signing for the patient. You actually take a second afterwards to talk to the director of the hospital, say, hey, does this happen? Do you guys need notaries every now and then? Once again, that topic is in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, I'm going to lead a presentation on networking with professionals. But so as far as the Google Ads, right? My clients who turn each of the Google Ads calls into a Google review, one day they're not even going to need the Google Ads, because they're going to have 350 reviews on their profile, right? And enough regulars. Whereas my client, like Lawrence in Philadelphia, is a great guy. He runs a nonprofit for underserved kids in Philly, and he's fed a bunch of kids and helped them with after school sports and stuff. So I'm not saying it. He's a really awesome gentleman, but he just doesn't collect reviews, right? So that's why here we are 3 years later, and he's still very dependent on the Google Ads. So no matter where the leads are coming from, if you can turn it into a Google business review, you're turning it into a long-term asset. Now, so same here, right? When you network with the facilities and the professionals, this doubles the value that you get. And sometimes when you compromise on price, right, and give discounts, right? Because sometimes, sure, somebody finds you through church, or maybe it's, your son's friend's mom, or it's a neighbor, and so you give a discount, right? And you say, man, I really don't want to go out there for half my usual price. But if you get the review, it makes it a lot more worth it, because you're building a long-term asset. And on average, this is a very conservative estimate. I estimate that for about every 100 reviews you collect, that's at least $1,000 of recurring monthly income. So if you have 300 reviews, that's $3,000 of reliable monthly income from your Google business page. So that comes out to about 10. It depends on your city and the prices as well. It could be double, right? It could be, but basically for every review you collect, that's $10 to $20 of recurring income, right? So you multiply that by 12 months, that's $12,000 of annual income with just 100 reviews. So it's money, you guys. It's money that you're leaving on the table. Some of you guys are already going to 15, 20 appointments a week, but you're only maybe collecting 1 review a week. It's just because you're not attacking it consciously, right? You're just saying, oh, if they happen to leave a review for me afterwards, great. But now with Yelp, you get those like Yelp elite people who are very, like they themselves are very proud of leaving a review for every single Yelpable thing they do. But with Google Business, you really don't find people like that. So you have to ask genuinely with appreciation and walk them through it. And before you know it, right? You guys already know. You guys already analyzed your competition on that third or fourth slide, right? You already know, right? The number one guy has 50, or the number one guy has 100. It's probably not even that much, right? Within a couple months, you can easily become top 3, top 3 Google business pages in your area, because no one else is attacking it consciously, minus that one guy in Las Vegas who has 546 reviews that someone mentioned earlier. So yeah, so there you go. That was it. Any questions? Any final questions regarding this topic?
This is a good question. So can our friends and family members leave us reviews or only clients? You can absolutely ask your friends and family members to leave you a review. Again, it's character-based. You want them to be honest, because you don't want to like pressure your friends and family to lie. It's uncomfortable. Just ask them to be honest. Unless that friend is like, oh, this person sucks, don't use them, then you don't want to ask them for a review. So yes, Jamario, I would ask friends and family. I would ask coworkers. It could even be like, hey, I'm starting up my notary business. Hey, I would help me out a lot if you could just leave me a character-based review. Be completely honest. This will help me a ton. Yeah. And you can easily get 10 to 20 reviews just from character-based reviews.
Especially if you used to work in an adjacent industry. So for example, I know some of you guys used to work in an estate planning attorney's office, and then you realize, oh, I want to start my own notary business because I already have my commission and I'm just doing it for no additional charge in the estate planning attorney's office. Well, you have all these people you worked with before in that office who can vouch for you and as a professional and leave you a review from an adjacent industry. Or if you're also in real estate somehow, right? You have people who you worked with in this adjacent industry who can leave you a character-based review.
Yeah, and if you do a really good job for a signing service, you can even ask the signing service to leave your review.
I have.
Yeah, we get asked it all the time. Unfortunately, like my profile has gotten flagged.
Yeah,
because I've left too many reviews for a bunch of notaries everywhere, and so now it doesn't let me post reviews anymore. So, yeah.
So Kayla, I would stay away from a different state. Google's going to get suspicious right away, because the whole point of these Google business profiles is it's only for local businesses. If you have a business that's like virtual, like myself, I have a digital marketing agency, I'm not allowed to have a Google business profile because it's not technically a local business.
Right. Yeah, Google doesn't like virtual businesses. They don't want you to have those. It's Big Brother Google. They can see everything, right? So they know where that person is searching from and leaving reviews. And Google is trying to prevent people from gaming the system. So what people would used to do, you could just hire people on Fiverr or Upwork to leave reviews for you, and that's what makes Google suspicious.
And guys, one of the things that I would say has really worked for me, you guys can do whatever you feel is going to be the best for you. But one of my tricks of the trade is I will ask them in a period of time that it makes sense for them to leave a review, right? So my kind of insider secret, or my secret, is after they sign the book, I text them the review, and then I say, "Hey, great! Did you receive receive a link to leave me a review?" They say yes, and I'll say, "Okay, awesome. You know what? Would you mind leaving me a review? It really helps me out. It's going to take me 2 to 3 minutes to review these documents for accuracy, and then during that time, they can either kind of look at you, look over their documents, or they can leave a review. So oftentimes they're just kind of like fumbling around. They're just like leave your review on the phone. So
yeah. Jason asks if Jonathan, you guys received that text. Jason, I did receive your email, by the way. So I'll be reaching out. I'll give you a call tomorrow to talk about the Google ads. But Jonathan,
Jason, Jason, I did get your text. And again, so if you guys are wanting to join this Google Review Challenge, to help you get your Google reviews up, just text your name to this number here and we'll get you set up to go challenge. We do need a screenshot of your Google business profile currently so we can know how much you're starting with. And then I saw Kayla asks, what about Ron? That was over.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
You know what, Kayla, that's a good counter argument, because
this is what I can tell you too, right? So we are based in San Diego, but we also serve other states and counties and all over California, and we actually ask reviews over there too. It doesn't affect it. It does affect us, but what I'm noticing is some of the reviews that we get don't post. And my thinking is because they can see that they're like, oh, how did they get this review, right?
Now, it's okay that it doesn't post, because it's not like we're violating policy, because
Right.
we actually are doing business with those notaries in that area. It's just more likely to be flagged as a quote unquote fake review, because that person's not in the area. I personally would do it just because, with the with the amount that you can ask for, as long as you're not doing anything wrong that violates policy. To me, I think it's a okay decision to make.
So Don asks, well, what number for the challenge? So if you see at the bottom, you text to 888-619-3776. And that's, let me put this banner up instead. Maybe that'll be easier. Oh yeah, I just take off the ticker.
So just text that number if you want to join the Google Review Challenge and have a shot at that $500 prize, or the 200 or the 100, right, for second and third.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be posting my reviews just so that we can have because I can play, but just not win any money.
When we were filling out our journal with their ID info, is that too soon to ask? LOL. So if I'm assuming you're filling out the ID information at the beginning, that is probably a little too soon. The best time to ask for a review is at the completion of a service, or a successful completion, right? Because when they feel like, they're relieved or excited or whatever, it's done now, right? So there's a finality, and they want to return that good experience and talk about it. That's the best time to ask.
So what I would do, though, Sarah, at the beginning is you could kind of pre-position your business and what you're trying to do. So a lot of times I'll tell my clients, like, hey, this is usually throughout the course of the signing. They're like, hey, me and Jonathan, we start up this business, and we're mortgage for estate planning attorneys, all this good stuff. So they at least know that I'm trying to accomplish something. So then there's a reason to help me out, right? And I always ask for a reason for them to leave a review. Because if you just kind of say, can you leave a review? They're just more likely to leave one if they're doing it for a reason, especially if they want to help out. And most people actually want to help out. And I take a look at from things from my perspective as a consumer. I wouldn't mind leaving a review myself. One, you just have to make it easy. And two, you have to do a good job, right? But as soon as I leave the appointment, or as soon as I leave the business that we're at, I have 9,000 other things to do that are way more important than leaving a review. I can tell you, most people are willing to leave a review. Just got to make it easy for them, make it convenient.
Yeah, and sometimes when I go to an appointment, I'll ask them right from the beginning. It's like, hey, I'm Jonathan. It's nice to meet you. Hey, how did you find me, by the way? And then they'll say, oh, I found you on Google. And you're like, oh, that's awesome. I'm so glad that that's working out. And then, you finish the signing. And at the end, you say, obviously, Google's helping me so much because you found me. It would help me out if you could just leave a review. And that way I can keep getting more business. And they're like, oh, totally. Yeah, that's how I found you. And then they'll leave a review that way too. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, and these things are really strong, guys. I mean, from like a psychological perspective, right? If you're a new business and you've kind of figured this out, it's going to be, for a client that's looking for your services, it's going to be a lot harder to go past somebody who has 147 reviews, even if you've only been in business for 5 or 6 months, than somebody who has 38 and they've been in business for 10 years, right? And they have backlinks and SEO. They've optimized their webpage in different ways. But we're very visual creatures, and we like numbers, right? And bigger numbers, we just kind of equate that with being good, right? So if you have 230 and somebody else has 42, it's going to be hard to pass up on you.
Yeah. That's why those double, triple reviews, if you can master getting the whole family to leave you a review, oh man, you're going to get there in no time.
Is there any issues that people have with getting reviews?
Yeah, anybody just having a hard time. And I remember Jason was talking about, there was a time when Jason was saying that he'll usually text them or something after, or send them an email. And statistically, only 5 to 10% of people leave a review from a text or an email that's like after, right? How many times have you guys gotten a service? Even if you're at a restaurant, you get a receipt, the survey at the bottom. How often are you actually leaving reviews on those? It's like rarely ever, if not, unless that teller, who the clerk at the restaurant or whatever, is like, hey, my name is John. They write their name on the receipt, they circle the survey, and then they hand it to you, and they're like, oh yeah, this person was great. I'll definitely leave them a review, right? Because they're actually asking you physically from their mouth. It's human nature. We just want to help people, right? And if it's something that just takes such little effort, I'm going to help you, but you have to ask. If you send a text, if you send an email, they're going to ignore it because they know that there's no consequence to it. But if they've given you their word that they're going to leave you a review, they want to fulfill that word that they've given you.
Yeah. Yeah. Great, Jason. I'll be asking for them during the appointment from now on. Yeah, and as long as you do a good job, you show up on time, you're nice, you smile, right, and you do your job. Yeah, like Jonathan and Will mentioned, most people are more than happy to leave a review. It's just that people forget. People have kids, people have stuff going on, and then they say, "Oh, I'll get to it," and they just, and then they got to drive their kid to the football game, and then they forget. So yeah, just take those extra 2 minutes at the end of every appointment and just collect it then. And that's the best time.
Yeah. So great. I've seen here we have just got another text in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Well, 10 minus Will. So we have 10 people right now. So I'm looking for 20. If you have notary friends who want to join a free challenge, send them an invite, tell them to text their name to the number. Super helpful. If we don't have 20, probably over the next couple of days, I will probably extend the challenge another week to start. And I know some of you are already up and running and you're collecting reviews and you want to get in this challenge. So definitely help us out by inviting some people to join.
Yeah. What a great gift, right? Say, hey, here's a chance to win some money, have some fun, learn something, so it's a great thing you can give to a friend.
And this is all to help you guys. Again, either way, if you don't win, you still get to win by getting these reviews. And
guys, in long term, actually, so this is probably something we'll cover in another week. Think about how important these reviews are for realtors, or how important they are for estate planning attorneys. Now you become valuable if you're able to get these testimonials for them, right? So all for a realtor, and so we'll kind of go over that when we talk about networking. But one of the reasons why I was kind of banging my head, I was the only notary going to all these realtor events, but they couldn't figure out a reason to use me. So one of the things I started doing was saying, hey, listen, if you ask escrow for me to be your preferred notary, I'll get you that testimonial. Now you're adding value that no other notary is bringing, right? So if you kind of come to them and say, hey, listen, I'll take care of your clients, I'll do a good job, I'll make sure, they'll tell you like, oh yeah, well, escrow typically picks a good notary to do that, right? So this is a way in which you can add value that other notaries aren't going to be doing. And this will be a way for you to pick up direct business.
Yeah. So Jason asks here, will you be sending a notification to participants when it actually starts counting? So when you get this in, I will let you know. I'm going to try to start it today if 20 people can come in today, if not tomorrow. But what will happen is at the end of the challenge, I'll have you guys self-report the number of reviews you collected. And then this way, since we have your starting number, we can verify that, right? Now we have your end number and we have your starting number. So that way people can't cheat and say, oh, I got 100 reviews. And they started with 100 reviews. So hopefully that answers your question there.
Yeah, so we'll confirm on next week's meeting, hey, we hit the 20 threshold. We have enough people. We're starting today.
Yeah, and if we start in the next couple of days, I will for sure let you guys know. I have you guys in the list on the CRM. That's why I wanted you guys to text in so I could capture it into our system, because now I can mass text you guys, hey, this is starting, reminders of hey, don't forget to submit in your final counts, those kind of things. It's just easier. I can do it all in one place instead of having to type out each single one of you in search. It just would take so much time.
Yeah. Jonathan, I see here you have pulled up the agenda for the next few weeks. You're going to go over that?
Oh, yeah. That's right. I forgot. So the last thing before we head off here, let's take our heads off of this.
Yeah.
So this is for the next few weeks. So we've done 8:10. Today's 8:17. The next week, we're going to be talking about outbound marketing for general notary work. This is going to be outbound direct. So where you'll be doing more things that are on the ground, dropping in to facilities, to estate planning attorneys, to escrow offices, however that may be. I
Oh,
know
that's next week. I thought that was in 2 weeks. That was my mistake. I said a few times it's going to be in 2 weeks, but that's next week. Okay.
Yeah. And I know a lot of you, or not a lot of you, but some of you avoid this, but it is a crucial piece of the business. It's probably, it is difficult, but it is one of the most effective, because just like asking reviews, people respond to you when you're face to face, right? And you're asking them in person. If you're just emailing them, you're probably not going to get their business so much. Cold calling is definitely more effective than like sending an email. But these walk-in ones are great because they get to put your face to who you are, and they want to give business to people they know, like, and trust. And if they can meet you in person, they're going to trust you more. Then the week after that, we'll be talking about networking groups and how to get referrals to those. And like Will was talking about, collecting reviews for potential clients. That's another good thing. And then 9/7, in the third week of the challenge, Yuki will come back and do a sales call training, how to take those leads that you're getting from your Google business profile, and then how to, send out, we'll go through Gigster and how to use it and how you can use it for your business during that time. And on the end of the challenge, hopefully 9/14, we'll have Jolene Blackburn. She'll be coming and talking about estate planning, how she wants to be marketed to, about the signing process for estate planning. And then we'll announce the challenge winner on the 16th if we can get that going. So we got a cool schedule coming up ahead, and I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Thank you all for joining us again for another Thursday. We'll do another office hours tomorrow at 5:15 again. I don't think you can make that one, huh?
I may. It depends. So I'll talk to you about that. Yeah,
Guys,
perhaps.
and ask
I'll
questions.
hop on late. I'll hop on late. Worst case.
Okay.
Ask questions. Post your questions. That this is, like I said, personally, is what I'm really good at. So I definitely love to share my knowledge and help you guys get to number one in the local 3-pack.
Yeah, and make sure, if you haven't gotten your verification set up, make sure to go to the Google support, and you can submit a request for support from Google. Let me look it up here. So it's support.google.com/business. And you can inquire about, hey, my verification is not working. Just type in verification into the support chat, and then you can kind of accelerate the process. Either it'll ask you to send an email or schedule a time to meet with somebody, or for them to call you. So definitely get that going. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Jamaria. Thank you, Siri. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, April.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Jason.
Guys.
Kayla,
Good little
Don.
group of notaries we got going here.
Yeah, and thank you guys for coming back. It's great to see familiar faces every week. All right. So signing off here. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you guys.